Good morning, everybody. Bill Knutson here. New York Sports with an Attitude. Well, it's Monday morning, Labor Day. Yesterday was a great sports day, like I told you. My fantasy football draft, 1 o'clock yesterday, led right into the Mets at 4:05, which led right into the big LSU-Miami game last night. So I had some friends over. We had a great time with all three of those things. It was a great day. All right, so let's take a few minutes and go over those things from the day. I'll get, even though the fantasy draft was first, yeah, I guess I'll do them in order. Why not? I'll do that. So the fantasy draft, 1 o'clock. So I'm going to run down quickly, round by round, what I did, and let me know if you think I have a chance to make a deep run in the playoffs, maybe even win a championship. I picked 9th in the first round, 10-team league. So what I was planning on doing at picking at 9, because you go 1 through 10, 10 picks twice, and then you go 9, 8, 7, all the way up to 1 who picks twice, and then you go 2, 3, 4, back and forth. Okay, so at 9 I was planning on taking Saquon Barkley, and then at 12, Odell Beckham Jr. That was my plan. Obviously I had backup plans, but that's what I was hoping for. Didn't quite work out. So picking at 9, Saquon Barkley went, I believe, 6 in the first round, so I didn't get a chance at him. So my first pick, I took Odell Beckham Jr. at number 9. Happy with that. I'm hoping with the Giants' improved line, Manning will have time to throw, and, Beckham is healthy, hopefully motivated. He just got paid. So I took Beckham at my first pick. Then when it came around to me again, a few picks later, like I said, Saquon Barkley was out. I took another wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins. So I've got Beckham and Hopkins back to back. And what I did, later on, I drafted Deshaun Watson as my starting quarterback, also from Houston. So I'm hoping that the Deshaun Watson to DeAndre Hopkins, dynamic is dynamic. That's what I'm hoping for, to get tons of points, him throwing the ball to Hopkins. Like I said, Deshaun Watson as my backup, as my starting quarterback, and I picked Watson in the 5th round. My third pick was Devontae Freeman, the running back from the Atlanta Falcons. I know he had kind of a down year last year. I am not a Falcons fan at all, but fantasy, you got to draft guys you think are going to help you. So Thursday night in Philadelphia, I hope Devontae Freeman gets 150 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the Falcons still lose, even though I hate the Eagles too. But that was my third pick. My 4th pick was running back Jordan Howard from the Bears. So I've got Devontae Freeman and Jordan Howard starting in my backfield. My 5th round pick, like I said, Deshaun Watson. Hopefully his favorite target, DeAndre Hopkins, who I picked in the 2nd round. Hopefully they will get me a ton of catches and touchdowns and, yardage and whatever. My 6th pick, I got another Giant. I got tight end Evan Engram in the 6th round, Giants. So I have 2 Giants on my roster. In the 7th round, I got running back Duke Johnson from Cleveland. And I had him last year. He didn't get a ton of yardage rushing for me, but he did get quite a few catches, so he was solid for me. He's my 3rd running back, so I'm not going to be starting him right away. In the 8th round, I got Randall Cobb from the Green Bay Packers. I know Devontae Adams is the young, star for Green Bay right now, but Randall Cobb has been there a while, and he's very reliable. So if I need to start him later with bye weeks and whatever, hopefully he'll have a good rapport, as usual, with Aaron Rodgers if I need to use him. My 9th pick was running back Rashad Penny from the Seattle Seahawks. Again, hopefully he's solid if I ever need to call on him. In the 10th round, believe it or not, in the 10th round, I took my backup quarterback to Deshaun Watson. I got Matt Ryan from the Falcons in the 10th round. Couldn't believe he was still there. I was looking around. I said, who's left on the quarterbacks? Let me start looking for a backup quarterback. And Ryan was still there. And he's good. And on my cheat sheet, they had Matt Ryan ranked 14th in the league. Wow. I think that's kind of low. I would say he's a top 10, right in the 8 to 10 range, probably, I would say. But I got him in the 10th round. Now, right now, like I said, he's my backup quarterback to Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun has a week 10 bye, so at the moment, as things stand, I'm only planning on having Matt Ryan start week 10. But I think that's a pretty good backup to have. In the 11th round, I went for a defense. I took the Houston Texans defense in the 11th round. Hopefully J.J. Watt will get back to something resembling the absolute stud he was for years. I don't think he'll ever be that good again. But they also have Jadeveon Clowney. So I'm hoping that they'll get me some sacks and get me some points. In the 12th round, I took a rookie, Kerryon Johnson, for the running back, Detroit Lions. He was a good running back at Auburn. Being an LSU fan, I watched his career. But again, he's my 5th running back, so I don't know how much playing time he'll get. But a lot of times, your 4th and 5th running backs could end up your 2nd and 3rd, or your 1st and 2nd, depending on injuries and how good or badly people are playing. So you never know. My 13th round pick, I thought was pretty good. Jordy Nelson. Wide receiver for the Oakland Raiders. That sounds weird to say. I don't know why the Packers ever let him go. But I got him in the 13th round, Jordy Nelson. Again, he's my 5th wide receiver, but you never know. I've got Odell Beckham and DeAndre Hopkins you would think would be good, but you never know. So I think he's a pretty good guy to have on my roster. In the 14th round, I got running back Peyton Barber from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's my 6th running back, so I don't know. But, I've heard some experts, if you want to call them, say they like Peyton Barber. I didn't see him play a lot, but I was like, all right. Some people seem to like him. You want to fill out your roster with running backs because they get hurt a lot. So he's my final running back. Then my second to last pick, we have 16 picks in our league. My 15th pick, I took a kicker from the Detroit Lions, Prater. I like that he's indoors. Hopefully he'll have a better percentage of hitting field goals, playing half of his all of his home games indoors. And, he's been a good kicker for a while. And my final pick was a Miami Dolphin wide receiver, Kenny Stills, in the 16th round as my final wide receiver. So, the wrap up, my 2 quarterbacks, I've got Deshaun Watson for Houston as my starter, Matt Ryan from Atlanta as my backup. My 2 starting running backs right now, Devontae Freeman and Jordan Howard. My 2 starting wide receivers, Odell Beckham, DeAndre Hopkins. My kicker is Prater from the Detroit Lions, and my defense is the Houston Texans. And in my league, you have to have 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, but you can add a 3rd running back or a 3rd wide receiver. So right now, I'm probably leaning towards putting Evan Engram in. So I'll have Beckham and Engram, hopefully covering every completion that Manning has with 2 guys, in there with Engram and Beckham. But I may throw the 3rd running back in, which is Duke Johnson. If I decide right now, I'm leaning towards having 2 Giants receivers in there. The Giants are hosting Jacksonville next Sunday, so Jacksonville's defense is really tough. So I'm going to have to think about that. But that's my fantasy roster. So let me know what you think about that. If you think I'm going to have a good season or not. All right, on to the Mets yesterday. Trying to win the series with Thor pitching yesterday afternoon, late afternoon. Thor was absolutely terrific. The Thor we expect to see. His first ever complete game in the major leagues. Gave up only 2 hits, struck out 11, and gave up 1 run. That's what we expect to see from Thor. He got his 10th win. He's 10-3. He looked like the Syndergaard we expect. Wasn't hittable at all. 11 strikeouts. He's never been a guy that walked a lot of people. But in his first complete game, like 110 pitches, complete game, absolutely terrific. Conforto gave us a 2-run homer earlier in the game, and in the 8th inning, clinging to a 2-1 lead, McNeil again. Love this guy. A big 2-run single with the bases loaded in the 8th inning to give us a 4-1 lead. And like I said, Thor was terrific. Only gave up 2 hits, 11 strikeouts. Finally got a complete game. They let him go. Said, Thor, this game's yours. Go and take it. And he did. So he's 10-3. I don't know what his ERA is at the moment. It was 3.51 to start. Obviously, with a complete game, only 1 run. It's probably down to about between 3.40 and 3.45. But he looked like the Thor we expect to see on a regular basis yesterday. It was absolutely terrific. All right, so we've got my fantasy team 2018. Let me know what you think. Did I do well? Did I not? You know, give me your opinion. Either, like I said, if you know how to reach me in person, do that. Let me know what you think. If not, you know, let me know on the show. Give me your opinion, how you think I did. All right, so that's all I've got. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate that very much. And in closing, the Mets move on to LA. After taking the series in San Francisco, we're 3-3 through Chicago and San Francisco. Very tough 3 games in LA. But we've got the DeGrominator tonight. 8 o'clock tonight. Make sure you watch. Hopefully DeGrom will get us off to a great start. Get a win tonight in LA. And that's about it. It's Labor Day. A little before 11 a.m. on Labor Day. Hope you have the day off today. And if you do, hopefully it's a great one. And catch the Mets and DeGrom 8 o'clock tonight. All right. Have a great day. Thanks again for watching. And we'll catch you next time.